All right,
And
guys, what's up? I'm pretty mixed feelings today, not gonna lie, after all that news broke yesterday. But we really wanted to get back on here. And I know just at the end of the episode we said we would not address this Josh Giddey thing again. But we really wanted to come out
there's
here and just
a lot
take
of
a
things
moment.
unsaid.
Yeah, and we just to us, there's a moment where we can actually sit down and actually have this discussion. I spent 5 hours last night looking at all the Twitter, Instagram, um, Facebook, everything that was out there about Josh Giddey. I was looking at it, looking at the photos, diagnosing the photos, trying to follow the Twitter's, pages back to where
Did you find
everything
anything?
originated. I can tell you this is that I cannot find the original Twitter that everything was released on.
Yeah, that's been
That's something that's
deleted.
interesting about that.
That's gone.
And I sit here and there's so many things that are question marks for me right now. And one of the biggest question marks, Mark, and I'll throw this right back to you after I say this, is one of the biggest question marks I have right now is that the Oklahoma City Thunder investigation group that they use is top notch. And according to some of the Twitter posts that I saw, was this relationship, quote unquote, relationship with this young female has been happening for a year. If that's the case, I want to make sure I'm 100% clear on this. There's no way the Oklahoma City Thunder investigation group and Sam Presti didn't know it was happening. If that's the case, right? And there's no way they wouldn't have stopped it. There was no way they wouldn't have intervened already. So the fact that there's stuff like this going out right now, and all these people are saying these things, I respect when something comes out and a woman comes out and a female comes out and they say, this guy touched me, they
Right.
raped me, they did anything else like that. But there's nothing like that. There's
Uh,
not a woman coming out saying he did this. There's nothing else like that. And that's where I get concerned at this moment.
I get extremely concerned, like you do, because right now we're talking about anonymous Twitter allegations that popped up and
Anonymous.
disappeared. And I mean, this is
God.
something that I feel like we should have a conversation about. And we all know that the day of AI is coming where you can't trust your eyes. And I'd like to say, like, at this point, we're already there in a big way. Um,
Hmm.
I generate dozens of AI images per day. Like, that's part of my job. I work with companies that generate AI images. And it's amazing what you can create with AI. And even as far as like
What's up,
the
Jesse?
old
On
school,
Monday,
um,
Sunday.
remove the background on Photoshop, you can do that with AI in a fraction of a second now. And
Yeah.
if you look at the images, you have to ask yourself questions like, do they look like they're in the same environment together? Does this look like a picture that somebody could have just grabbed a picture of Josh from his own profile and done, remove background of their own picture and pasted themselves in? Like, I understand that people will say I'm making excuses for him, but this is the day of AI. AI makes it so we can't automatically trust our eyes. I've seen plenty of things like fake Joe Rogan things or fake um who else? I saw one Tom Cruise thing that I swear was real, and he
Yeah.
was talking, but he wasn't, and it wasn't him. It was AI generated, and I think in the
Yeah.
end,
There's
um,
Joe.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that automatically, if something inappropriate happened, like, oh, we can just discount it. But what I want to say is, it says a lot about the people who are calling Josh terrible names and coming at him, and ready to just throw a person away based on an anonymous Twitter account that has we don't know anything about like the person, if the person's even real. We don't know if the person has ever been
Yeah.
around Josh. We don't have any idea. We're waiting to find out
Well,
facts,
and
but some people are so fast to label him such disgusting things. And I just wonder what that says about those people. Because it does. I don't think it says a lot
I
about Josh that people are saying that about him. I think it says a lot about these people.
I stay connected to Twitter as much as our X as much as I can. And it's beyond shocking to me. The same people that have been calling for Josh to be traded are the same ones that are on top of the mountain right now screaming for Josh to be cut from this team, to be thrown off this team. The same motherfuckers, man. And I get upset because, again, it's those Oklahoma City Thunder fans that are passing it around, that are talking about it, the Oklahoma City Thunder newspapers or, whatever, social media stuff that's out there right now. Like, I am looking at this and I'm
Self-interested
saying,
motherfuckers.
here's a 21-year-old man, young man, 21-year-old young man who's just getting his start in the Oklahoma City Thunder organization. The Oklahoma City Thunder are playing really well. and out of right field, this allegations comes up, and it's just it's mind boggling to me at this moment is without a female stepping forward and saying this is happening. People have taken an image of a true high schooler in Oklahoma and said, "This is the girl. This is the girl." There's no proof of the girl. There's no her saying that's me. There's none
Right.
of that stuff.
Nothing.
And that's where it's concerning to me, because if it is the girl and she is this young, we've destroyed her life.
We
All
did.
these Twitter, all these Instagram posts, they've
Motherfuckers did it.
destroyed her life.
Yeah.
And if it isn't true, they've destroyed her life. Not just that, but they've destroyed Josh Giddey's like persona at this moment of his life. And that's horrible. And I cannot say it enough, is that I want to wait. I want to continue to wait until we have proof on the table, until we have this moment where it's like Josh Giddey is not playing the Oklahoma City Thunder games. And Sam Presti's saying that we take all allegations seriously and we're going into this and we're trying to figure this out. I want to take at that moment, the moment that people are sitting down and actually having conversations about it, I want to be able to come back to the table and say, this is what's happened.
Right.
But at this point, there is nothing. And I keep on looking in with the Oklahoma City Thunder Police Department. I keep on going here. I keep on going there. I'm looking for it everywhere. And there is not a single thing. Don't you think that ESPN would have already come up with this? Don't you think that CNN and Fox News, like this would have been one of the biggest news things over Thanksgiving if this was true? And that's what's so crazy, is that everybody is pulling the handbrakes on this story right now. Why? Because there's no truth or proof at this moment.
Right. And like you said, and with no victim coming forward and saying there's a problem, then it's just left for the trolls to run around and just try to do their damage. So what we keep returning back to, and I think it's really important for everybody, is like, what is the baseline of truth? What do we know right now? Right now, all we for sure know is a random Twitter account made accusations and disappeared.
That's it.
That's all we know. And from there, as we find out more facts, we'll move forward with the facts. So without like getting too much like, okay, well, we care about basketball. We're a basketball podcast. Our goal is to be focused on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, I think at some level, we owe it to the truth to let it play out. We don't owe it to anybody to speculate. And like you mentioned at the beginning, like the Thunder have been playing some really good basketball. There have been some naysayers, some people who are very self-interested, who are trying to propagate rumors to reach their own ends. For some reason, these same people think that we'd be better off without Josh Giddey on the team. I do believe these things are connected, but I'm going to wait until those facts come out also before I speculate on that. But I would just like to say, like, it destroyed a holiday for so many people all around the world. It destroyed it for Josh and for this young lady who, like, unfortunately did not sign up to be involved in this. And I hope that everybody understands the damage they're creating when they label people things like that. I doubt they do, because I think most of the people who are running around with this are children themselves. And so they kind of like get excited if they can interject themselves into a story. But the reality is, at this stage, I'd like to focus on basketball.
Yeah. Well, and I want to throw out this too, is that we've gotten a lot of great comments on this pod, on the pod that we did last episode.
That was hard, bro.
And we got a lot of people like tearing into us for like supporting something like this without knowing the full story. And that's where Mark and I, we sat down just before we got on this podcast, and I said, it's, for us, we're here for the community. We're here for the community that we built. That's all you guys. And it's a sad day. It was a sad day for all of us. I know it's Thanksgiving, but deep down inside, some of us were incredibly sad. And someone asked on the comments, like, you don't even know the guy. Like, it's kind of crazy that you guys are sad. But man, when you're right, we don't know the guy. I've never met Josh Giddey. But the reality of the matter is that if you went back, we talked about Josh Giddey on every single episode since he's been drafted, on every single episode. We've dug into his family life. We've dug into his playing career. We've dug and watched every single game that he played in Australia. I mean, like we went all in on Josh Giddey. And when you do that and you start looking at these players as, guys that you've spent so much time, working with and looking through and scouting their game, it's insane. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden something like this happened, it tears you apart because, for one main facts is he's 21 years old. You know, like, if this isn't true, like what Mark and I are kind of leaning towards at this moment, until there's proof out there, we don't believe he's, he's guilty. There's no proof.
Yeah.
And it's still so sad because all these Twitter trolls and Instagram trolls are just horrible, horrible. And they're mostly Oklahoma City Thunder fans. That's what's so stupid. It's so incredibly horrible, is that these are the Oklahoma City Thunder fans that have been saying, we support this team.
Man, I think for people to understand why, as a community, we surround each other when we're hurting, it's difficult. But I can say a couple of
Yeah.
days that d- just the day still resonates and defines my life when I think about it. April 19th, May 3rd.
Yeah.
These dates are days where Oklahoma City experienced disaster like nobody ever should have to. And going through those trials and tribulations made it when Boston felt that the pain of the bombing at the marathon, and Las Vegas felt the pain of the shooting at the festival. Oklahoma City as a community reached out. And I feel like right now we know that one of our brothers is hurting. And so even though we're waiting for the facts to come out, we also know there's pain. The pain is unnecessary because the pain is coming from the mob, an angry mob. And I'll tell you what, this country doesn't run on mob rule, but social media does. And we'll let them have their day now. We're waiting for all the facts before we come to any conclusions. And we just hope that anybody who's hearing this will do the same too.
Yeah, dude. 100%. And I don't really want to talk about basketball right now. So we'll come
Let's
back
talk
tomorrow for the
bro.
game. But here's the reality, guys. Be there for the situation, recognize the situation, and we all realize that whether or not we're saying the right things or not, I don't care. I want to be there for you guys. Every single one of you that have followed us recently, welcome. To all of our original OG listeners, we love you guys. Thanks for supporting us. It's not how I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers yesterday, but it happened, and just really stoked that happened. So thank you very
Appreciate you
much,
guys.
guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.